notebook. So what I am going to do, guys, right now, we have I have one certain data set that I found somewhere on the internet. So I'm going to use that data set to do this demo. Okay. So I have a data set related to Amazon Alexa. So what is Alexa? You guys know. So this is one data set I downloaded from the internet. You can also first search for Amazon Alexa data set. You can find this data set over the internet free, or I can share this data set in your Google Drive. Okay. So one more small thing, guys, I would like to tell you, whatever I'm drawing here, okay, the way I draw in my last class also. Okay. So all those things will be shared in your Google Drive. So my team will share the Google Drive link either in your WhatsApp group description. So there's a Google Drive link where per day basis, what are the code we have, what are the data set we are using in the classroom, plus all those diagrams, whatever I'm creating over here. Everything will be shared to you in your Google Drive. Link will be given in your WhatsApp group, or a link can be you can find in the description of your WhatsApp group, whichever WhatsApp group you guys belongs to. So either you can find in the description, or you can find uh, in the chat message of your WhatsApp group. Otherwise, if you don't have it till now, I ask my team, they will share you soon. Okay, this is one point. Next thing is, guys, per day basis, the pattern that I follow is I start with the class. Okay, per day I'll try to touch one of the portion of the topic, and after the end of the class, I will open the Q&A. So any query if you have, don't put on the chat message right now. I won't read and check the chat message or the chat of the Zoom meeting. Don't put on the chat message any of your query. What a query you have, maybe you can put it down somewhere in your note. Okay, and after that the class complete, I ask you to ask your queries, put on the chat boxes of the Zoom meeting, and I will help you to resolve your query. This is one of the way. Otherwise, my team also share you one more way. So we have some kind of internal Discord channel where a lot of my team, technical tenor, technical team, technical volunteer would be part of this channel. Okay, any query, whatever you have not yet been solved by me or maybe not been addressed by me, you can put your query in our channel. A lot of technical volunteer and technical team would be active almost every time. Okay, so some will definitely quickly give the answers to you. Okay, so that is one small portion, just some information from my side. So let's start with the today's topic. So we are going to use this particular data set, okay, to do something. What we are going to do something, let me explain to you step by step, right? So this is one of the data set about the Alexa. So if you try to open this data set, okay, it look more like this. Okay, so this data set contain lots of field 1, field 2, field 3, lot of field. Right now, by looking at the data set from here, it might not look very clean. Okay, so 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 what I'm going to do, let me open this data set with the Python code. So I'm going to create a Python code. And I told you guys in my last class, the training for the prerequisite for the NLP training is you should know some basic about Python. And by chance, if you does not know the Python, so I have one free training available in our YouTube channel. Okay, if you search IAEC Connect Python, this is our YouTube channel name, Python series. So you can find this training delivered by me, absolutely free, cover almost everything about the Python. So those who by chance does not know about Python, you can also follow along this series where we have covered about the Python. That's all. Okay. So what I'm going to do, first of all, my requirement is to open this file in the Python code. Is a pure document file. Okay, so I want to open in my Python code, and if you want to open any file, or a document file in the Python code. Then we have a pandas as a module available. I'm going to give this module a nickname as PD, is just a nickname or alias. And in the pandas, there's a lot of functions available. Which kind of file you want to open? HTML, Excel sheet, CSV file. This file is a CSV file, comma separator file. Okay, and this file located in the same location where my code is located, and name is Amazon Alexa.tsv. So let me open this file by giving the name Amazon Alexa.tsv. Okay, so my Python code is trying to open this file. Right now it's fail. Why is fail? Let me see the error message. They say we're trying to read this file, not able to understand all the stuff, right? So technically, why they fail this to read this file is the file that I'm trying to open at this point in time is being created by somebody, and the somebody has put lots of tab. See here, every text they write, they put the tab. The text they write, they put the tab. Okay, so technically in this file, they put 5 different fields. One, the rating about the product called Amazon Alexa, date of the rating maybe. Okay, variations. So this device has a multiple different variations: charcoal fabric, gray fabric. Okay, different variations of this product. Okay, reviewed by the customer. Okay, and the feedback also. So there are 5 different fields somebody has collected and put into this file, but all those fields, okay, the date and variation, they put not the space, neither the comma. So every field they separated by tab, and any file that is been separated by tab, or any field that is separated by tab is called TSP file, tab separated, you know, value or something like this. Okay, so that file is a TSP file actually, not a CSV file. So for this, what we have to do, we have to tell our Python code that the file that you're trying to load in the Python, okay, load in the Python is tab separated, where this field is different and this field is different, and to separate this field, we have a field separator, also known as delimiter, and the delimiter in our case is called tab. Okay, so for this, in the pandas, when you try to read any file, there you can pass one more option here called delimiter. And here the delimiter, by default they use comma, but here in a case the delimiter is tab. That's all. Now they open very fantastically, right? So this file we have in my hard disk, in my storage, and we have loaded this file, okay, into Python code, where I mentioned this is tab separated. Now they am able to understand this file and say, now I know there's a 5 different field. Okay, this is the rating about this product. This is the date, maybe date of the rating. Okay, plus the review from the customer, that is pure English language. Okay, and the feedback. Okay, somebody has put the feedback 1 and something maybe. Okay, depend upon what kind of what they talk about the product. So let me store the data in a variable called dataset. It's just a variable name. Okay, so I'm going to put this data in a dataset variable. Okay, this is the data we have. Okay, yeah, if you want to see how many review we have for the Alexa, 1, 2, 3, you can see in the last we have total 3,150 review. Or you can, there's a function available in the Python. So in the dataset we can say sept of this data. So we have 3150 rows, means this that many row record, and the review or the record we have in total. And 5 means total 5 different column we have. Or if you only want to print out the name of the columns, so these are the different name of the column available over here. Okay. or maybe you can do many more things, right, in the data set. So those who know a little bit of Python, okay, any data or file load from the Python, then it become a pandas, okay, pandas data type. Okay, so if you load any file from the pandas, then that data set has a data structure or data type known as pandas, that is known as data frame. So what is data frame is nothing like a table, right? So whatever you use a term called table, there are a lot of rows, a lot of column. In the pandas world, that is one library of the Python. It is known as data frame. Okay, so there's a small information I'm just giving to you. Second thing is, if you want to describe this data frame, then you can write a function called describe and say, I want to describe my data. So they describe here. Okay, and what they describe in this data set. In this data set, I'm trying to describe the rating. Okay, the rating part. Okay, and what I have found, a lot of guys have given the rating 5, 5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Means they're happy, right? So I think they have the rating of the scale from 1 to 5. 1 means they are not happy with this product. 5 means they're happy with this product. So what this describe command will do, they will take this rating column that has a number available. For example, what I'm talking about, for example, if you just go and use the data set and use the info function, right? Info is a function here. Info function will tell you in this data set, we have these many entries in the record, out of which we have 5 column. And out of 5 column, there's 2 column. Okay, 2 column, their data type integer number. And because they are number, so any operation that is possible in the number we can do. Okay, one of the option that we can do on the number is the count, sum, mean, max, medium. Okay, so describe function, guys, will automatically go and find in this data set. Okay, can we describe the date? No. Can we describe the review? Is English language? No, we don't understand the English language till now. For understanding the English language, we have to use NLP. That's the plan for today's class. Okay, only thing, because I am the machine, I am the pure Python, only thing I can able to understand is the numbers. So if your data set has a number, okay, I will describe it. Okay, and what I describe, I can tell the minimum thing is 1. Means somebody has given me rating. Okay, somebody has given me, okay, a rating called 1 somewhere, but not visible here, but somewhere here, somebody has given the rating 1. Means that guy does not like our product. Okay, but somebody also gave me rating 5 max. Means they like the product. But the beautiful thing is this portion. Okay, this is a percentile. Okay, means almost 75 percentile of my overall rating has given me 5 as a rating. Means out of 100 customer, almost uh, from most of the customer, okay, has given me 5 rating. Okay, a very rare customer giving me rating less than 4 or 4. So what is this? What is this meaning in percentile? I will maybe, I'm not a part of the NLP training. Is a pure example of statistical discussion, right? But it's just a percentile. Okay, this number shows a lot of 50% above, 70% above. Most of the guys has given us this product fantastic rating. Okay, rating almost equals to 5. That's what the maximum number of rating is possible, right? So again, this is not so much important right now, so I want to skip this part. Okay, it's not related much to NLP. Okay, yeah, but if you try to learn is about statistical concept, then this concept maybe discuss over there in detail about the percentile. Okay, but I'm just trying to, guys, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to explain you some basic concepts of Python and the pandas, because this is very commonly things we keep on using again and again and again. Okay, one more thing I would like to tell you is very interesting. By default, okay, your describe command will only describe, okay, the field and the column name that has a number, integer, but that does not describe any field, okay, that has a data type object. Object means kind of a strings here. If you see this data set, so this is like a string, right? A string, okay, or like this data also like a string. So describe function pandas by default does not describe any column name, that has object like is like a string. But if you have a requirement, okay, I also want to describe my objects, then in the describe function we have an include keyword, and then I can say also include the objects. So in this data set, wherever we have the object, also include it, okay, and describe it. Why? Because I also want to see, okay, the maximum number of something, max something, min something. Maybe there's a possibility, okay, more possibility, okay, in the variance, okay. There's different Alexa variants, different type of Alexa devices, charcoal, black and blue and red and all the stuff, leather, okay. I have to check, okay, which is the maximum variance my customer has purchased, like black dot maybe, or charcoal fabric maybe, okay, something like this. So when I try to run this, now the capability comes here. So anything there is a string in type, my pandas describe function can able to describe this part also. And what they found? They found total number of variants. We have 3150 because the total number record we have. Okay, where the maximum, okay, top variance that is being used by a customer or given the feedback by the customer is a black dot. See here, top one. Okay, so if you see here also, where my data set would be, you can see the black dot would be the top variance. Okay, they auto find it for you. And they also try to find out, we have 16 unique variants available, means Alexa variants available. We have 77 unique dates given by feed by the customer while doing the feedback. Okay, so we have a 2301 different feedbacks available. These are feedbacks available by the customers. Okay, so my point here is that, guys, this is not the NLP, but if you want to work with the NLP, some of the basics of Python and pandas you should know. That's what I'm covering right now here. And pandas is one of the very commonly used library we use a lot to do something with the data. So I'm just giving you some of the info on pandas. Again, this is not a pandas training, okay, but this is the very basic thing you should know as we go ahead. Okay, let me tell you some more thing, then we'll slowly move to the core NLP part. Okay, again in my data set, this is my data set. Okay, in this data set, if your requirement is to only retrieve the variance as a column name, then you can cite, right, and give the column name. That's all. So only this column will be printed separately. Or entire variance, okay, will be printed. Okay, so variance is a variance of the different Alexas. Now here, if you want to count, okay, how many time black dot gonna come up? Let's say 100 time. How many time walnut gonna come up? Let's say 2 time. How many time charcoal fabric gonna come? Let's say 100 time. I want to count this. Why? Maybe I want to see the frequency of my variance of the Alexa. I want to see I want to see how much time or how many review we have for the black dot or for the charcoal fabric, because this data set belong to review, right? So what I can do in this data, there's a function available, okay, not called values count function. So I think it's not coming in the tab value underscore, I think counts. Yeah, here it is. It's a function. So automatically what they do, they will pick first value and count the frequency of it. How much time charcoal gonna come up, how much time walnut gonna come up. So they count for us, right? So here we see we have we have we have 16 unique variants in our feedback data set. Okay, after this 16, okay, 16, if you see even the count also, there's 16 total we have. Okay, where black dot have 516 total in record. Okay, black plus is 270, and because black dot has a maximum frequency in my data set, that is one of the reason why they show you in the top top here in the describe command. Okay, so why I'm doing this, because right now our goal is to guys to take this data set, okay, a data set from the Amazon for the product called Alexa. Okay, and our requirement is to understand the sentiment of our customer. Okay, and before we understand the sentiment of the customer, okay, we should know something about our data set. We should know how many product we have in this data set included. We should know, okay, which product is being given rating most of the time, right? So that if I know black dot is a product wherein has given most of the rating by the customer, then we'll at least conclude black dot is a product that is being used most by the customer. Maybe we can conclude, and then we can also try to find out, okay, what are the sentiment about the black dot. Okay, does they really like this product or not, or they are giving a lot of negative feedback about it. Okay, so the next point of it. But my point here is, if you does not know much about the machine learning or the AI world, okay, whatever you want to do with what you want to do, you need a data. But before you deal with the data and do any data scientist on the top of the data, create a model on the top of this, you apply the NLP on the top of this, I always recommend, okay, if you directly start applying the machine learning or the AI or the NLP on the top of data, you might not lead anywhere, right? Okay, so it's like a hidden trial, something we are doing. But if you really want to come take out some information out of your data, some useful information, I can say, then you should first try to understand as much as deep about your data set, either given by you, gathered by you, or somebody else has gathered the data for you. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. Okay, so there's one thing we have done. One more thing I would like to do here is, let's say, okay, because if you understand this data set, guys, you might have understood, okay, in this data set there's a field called verified review. This is a field we are interested on right now, because any other field, if you see, is a number, is a date, is a number, it's just a product name. We can deal very very easily with your programming skills, Python or Java and some JavaScript maybe. Okay, we can very easily deal with this data. For example, if you see here, we can deal, right, this is a maximum product used by the customer. Okay, or we can deal, this is the maximum rating and feedback we have. The most of given customer has given the rating above in the scale of 50, 70%, most given these many percentage of the customer given the rating 5. That's a good thing. Okay. But but any data that is not into a structure format, these data are in very much in structure format. For example, the spelling of charcoal fabric is same everywhere. The rating is a number always everywhere. So, okay, we have a rating 5 4, not is like FIV 5 or FOURS 4s, right? So they are very much, that's called structured format. Any data that is in structured format, okay, you can use your programming skills to understand and analyze your data and come up with something, some useful information format. Okay. But any data that is not in the structure format is called unstructured data. And one of the good example for this is this field. If you see this field, you can't apply any of your programming skills. Okay, there is no meaning of mean, average, max. Okay, if I say, can you count how many customer has given me the review low? There's no way, right? Somebody use love, somebody use like, somebody use love, somebody say happy, somebody say very love or very loving. Okay, everyone has different way to write. It's a pure unstructured data because it is English language or any other language maybe. Okay, so my point is to to find out some useful information from this data, and this is the only data where you can find some useful information, because customer don't type review 1 -1 10 5 3 like this. Customer always give the review as a language format, natural language format. It's a natural language. Okay, here the role of NLP gonna come in play. So let me very quickly re-explain to one talking about. Let me pick the field. This field I'm picking is a column name or the field name I'm taking from this data set. Okay, this field, where it is, where is my data set? Yeah, here it is. Okay, let me take in the last. Okay, so we have 3150 role data start from 0. Okay, so these are the review given by a customer in a field called verified review. Now, if you ask you, can you please go and find out all the positive review and the negative review? I want to see the percentage of it. How many percentage of the customer like our product or love our product? Okay, we can do, because this data is purely unstructured data, or I can say this data is purely in a language called English. And the challenge in the machine learning is, oh sorry, in the machine is, okay, they does not understand the English language. Okay, that is a big challenge. So what we have to do, there's two possibility. So again, guys, what I'm trying to do here is, my plan is to, let's say, count, okay, or maybe find the percentage of the total of a percentage of my customer who like the product. Or maybe I want to find out all the review that is negative. So I can read the review, contact to the team of this product. They will enhance this product based on the customer review. Okay. For example, somebody has written here, only complaint I have is the sound quality. It looked like we human being know the language English. So it looked like it's a pure negative review, kind of negative review. But my system does not know, because machine understand only 0 1. They does not understand English language. That's what I explained in my last class. Okay. So what we have to do for this, we have to teach our machine natural language, in this case, English natural language. And for this, I have to make my system AI, artificial intelligent. Okay. For which use case? For NLP use case. Why? Because without knowing the NLP, or I say without knowing the NL, natural language, my machine won't able to process the NLP. This is the NLP. Sorry, this is natural language. They won't able to process it, and without process, they won't able to find any meaning out of it. And without finding the meaning, we can't take any decision. The ultimate goal is we have a huge data available on the internet, in social media, terabyte, exabyte, zettabyte data available, right? But all data available on the internet is in the base of language. Okay, for the human being, is impossible to uh, to read the entire data available on the internet or available maybe publicly or in this world. Okay, maybe it take millions and billions of years to for one human being to read completely, right? But machine has a power to read the entire data of the machine of the internet very quickly, maybe in the days, in the week. So if machine able to read the entire data of the internet and try to understand also, and come up with some kind of useful information for us, then it can be a kind of super brain, super intelligent machine. And one of the example of this kind of super brain, super intelligent machine is called chat gpt. Okay, so what chat gpt has done, they have read the entire language, and this is a large language, and create a model of it. Okay, who? ChatGPT as a product from OpenAI, and there are many more products available in the market. Okay, and but reading is not important, right? After reading the entire data available on the internet, they are able to understand this, so that we can when we ask something from the ChatGPT, they give the answer whatever we are asking, because they understand our language now. Okay, language now. It means ChatGPT or LLM is a concept behind it, large language model. They use purely the skill of NLP. They're purely based on the LLP. So they are the example of NLP again. NLP. Okay. But yeah, it's not a class of the LLM, neither the class of ChatGPT. Maybe a lot of guys have done some training under me. I have delivered very advanced training of generative AI and LLM and prompt engineering and ChatGPT. So you guys might know about the core concept, how it works. Okay. So this one. So let's continue with this part. So I think you understand what I'm talking about. Whenever you have a data in English language, okay, we have to use NLP skills so that machine can understand. But before we use NLP, let's do something on this data. Okay, so let's I'm doing some very basic operation on this data. So let's say this is the entire data. Okay, so maybe in some use cases, maybe I'm just giving some basic operation, guys, of the pandas. So this is the pandas, actually pandas data type. Even though if you see the data type of the data, is again the pandas. Okay, pandas. Okay, so anything that is pandas or pandas data type, because we use pandas to load this data here on the top. Okay, so pandas has one function that is called apply function. It's very useful for function, guys. You gonna use a lot on any data. This data type on any data. If you want to apply any function, for example, let's say this is the data we have is a string. Let's say your requirement is to find the length of the string. So this is string. So in the Python, we have a length function. With the length function, we can find the length of the string. Okay, very simple function of Python. But let's say we have a requirement. I have lots of data, row one, row two, row three, maybe billions and trillions of data. I want to find the length of everyone. This one also, this one also, this one also, this one also. Okay, so we can do this part very quickly. How? On this data, okay, we can apply one function. Which function? Depend what you want. So I want to apply length function, for example. So I can write the length function here. That's all. So whichever function you guys know, you can put here the function name. So either function created by you or given by no programming language as a Python, you can write here. You know what they do? It's a quick way to find the length of all the records. So they find the length of this guy, length of this guy, length of this guy, length of this guy. Why we need a length? Maybe in some NLP processing we might use in the future. But here I'm just giving some example of the pandas. Okay, so maybe in my data analysis or my data set, I want to find out some sentiment analysis. When I say whenever any data that is bigger in 10 character in size, then only we can find out the sentiment, for example. So if you know the length, then filtering the data would be very, very simple in some of the use cases. Okay, so so what this apply function will do? They will go to this data set, pick first data, find the length, pick second data, find the length, pick some third data and find the length, and finally if you see here, they find the length of all the things very quickly. So just keep this thing in mind. Whenever you want to apply some kind of function in all the data that is there in the pandas, then apply is a function we can apply. And in that apply function, you just give the function name. You don't have to call the function. You only give the function name, which function you want to apply in all the data. Okay. And let's say I keep this data, I'll store the data in one variable. So I give, let's say, variable name called X. So data store in X variable, maybe we use in the future. Or we can do one more thing, because we already have a data set that contain all the data we have, creating date variation. So let me add one more field here that contain the length of my my review. So this review I want to keep in one more column. So how to create a new column is very simple. I say in this data set, I'm going to create one more field. Okay, whatever field name you want to give. Let's say my field name may be length. So automatically, output of this data we store in this data set, this one, with a new field is not there. They will create a new field called length. And you can see here, they create a new field. Okay. So from this data, I found the length and we have the length of everyone. Why we need the length? Maybe not right now, maybe in the future, some of the example I'm going to use this. Okay, one example can be, I say I want to find out the sentiment of my data, but only thing is I need the data whose length is more than 5 character. Okay, or whose length is less than 100 character, depend. So maybe that cases we might need this length as a column name, so I can search in the future and only then data come up that has a length between this range. Then I will use my NLP skills to find out the sentiment of this guy. Okay. So that's what I would do. Okay, now how to find the sentiment? This part we have discussed, guys, already in my last class, means yesterday class, the first class. Okay, this is a multiple way to find the sentiment, or multiple Python library available to find the sentiment. Okay, so one of the library that I want to use, what I use in my last class also, text blob. Okay, so my plan is we have this data, and I want to find the sentiment of this data. But when I say sentiment, typically there's two good things gonna come up. Okay, two good things gonna come up. Okay, in sentiment world, that's what I explained in my last class. One is a polarity. Okay, that you guys know, means. Okay, polarity means is a range from -1 to 1 plus 1. And meaning of this line range is -1 means negative feedback to the positive feedback. So if you really want to find the negative, neutral, positive feedbacks kind of sentiment, then you have to find out the polarity. Okay, but not every statement you will find in the feedback as a negative positives. And maybe some statement, okay, over here somebody has put some fact information, subject information. I say, we know Alexa uh, understand the voice command, or we know is a radio channel, is a radio frequency who will uh, that Alexa use in the mic to control the speech or understand the speech. So if somebody write in this way, that is not the sentiment, neither positive neither negative, is just a subjective, means like a fact. Okay, so when you try to find the sentiment, you have to also find the sentiment. Okay, and try to find the subjectivity of it. Subjectivity of it. Again, it's range from 0 to 1. 0 means the pure factual facts, means also known as subjective. And close to 1 is they are objective, means they are opinion, public opinion. Okay, like say public opinion. So they're not giving any facts information, they're just giving the opinion. Hey, this product, they have to change this color does not look good. Or maybe they say they try to with a different color. Okay, so kind of this kind of come in the subjective world. Okay, so how to find the sentiment we have discussed already in my last class. But let me do very quickly this part on this data set, on the real data set. So from the text blob, this library we installed already in my last class. I'm going to load this model called text blob model. There's a model for the NLP, and this model has a capability to understand your English language. But at the same time, they have a capability to understand the the polarity and the subjectivity. Okay. Now the challenge here is, yesterday we use this function. How? Let me show you very quickly. We use this function. Okay, and given the text, let's say text would be love my co. This kind of text we use. Okay, and let's say this is my sentence, and then in my sentence I can find out the sentiment. If you see here, the polarity is close to 1. Negative, positive, sorry, not negative. It means there's a positive statement. It means this feedback is positive. And this is not the fact information, this is like a kind of opinion. So again, subjective is again close to 1, not close to 0. Okay. So yesterday, guys, we did this task, right? But challenge here is, today we don't have one single data. We have a lot of data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to apply the sentiment analysis on all the data. Okay, why? Because my requirement is, we have thousands of review of the customer. Looking at the one review, we can't conclude anything, right? You can't conclude by looking at the 1 or 2 review that the product is good or not. You see all the tweets, all the review of the restaurant, all the review of the post and comments, all the review of this feedback of the Alexa, depend on the use cases. And by looking at all the review, if everyone talking about the polarity more than 1, so more than 0, positive, it means product is good. But most of the polarity of every review is negative side. This means they have some challenge in the product. Okay, and there are lots of subjectivity close to 1, far from 0, close to 1. It means a lot of guys have given their opinion about the product. Maybe they're giving some kind of opinion to how to make this product more better. Okay, so we have to analyze this, right? And there's 2 ways to analyze this part. One way is you manually go read all thousands of review, and we are the human being, because we understand the language English, we can very quickly say this is positive, this is negative, this is subjective, this is objective. We can do this. by ourselves. But again, the challenge was that what I was talking about yesterday. The challenge was we human beings are very, very slow. We work very slow. Okay. And that is the reason we want our machine to understand the natural language. Okay, become the AI. Okay. And that is the reason we have to use this kind of libraries and functions. Okay, that's what we're using here. But only challenge here is test blob is a function, and in the function you need to pass one statement at one point in time. But we have a thousands of statement, right? So what we can do, okay, if you want one thing to use again and again, so we can create a function. That's all. So this thing we can put in our function. We can create a function. And how to create the function is very simple in Python. So df is a keyword. I can say create a function. Let's say get sentiments is a function name I'm going to create. And anyone who use the function, they will give the input as a text, something like this. And instead of I make my text fix here, I can pass this variable, text variable here. Or this is a function, and there's a block of the code of the function, right? So I can give the indent, because in Python we don't have curly braces, we have to use indent. That's all. The function created. Okay. And here they give the sentiment, let's say my sent, and when they were the function run with, they were written the sentiment. Okay. So that is one thing we can. Maybe let me give a better word here. My let's say text blob, for example. Text blob is just a variable name, and say my text blob sentiment. Okay. And my sent, or maybe my sentiment is just a variable name. So function created. So what do you use with one function? Nothing. Now we have this function. Now whenever we want to find the sentiment, we can call this function. Okay. And here we can pass the data. So again, I'm using same example. Let's say, so only complaint I have the sound quality. This is no complaint, but let's say try to put something here just to check sound quality. And here, see here, they give this one. Polarity is again close to zero, means they does not, it look like a neutral. Okay, neutral statement. But they are talking something about the opinion, so subjectivity is again close to one. But you guys say 0.03, right? It's like close to zero, like a neutral. Okay, or maybe I try to find perfect for kid and adult for everyone in between. 1 minute. I'm just checking the function. And this product, I'm just trying to type some here. Fantastic. So here their produce one means they feel it is a pure produce statement, and somebody also giving the opinion, so it's again close to one. Okay, so that's what my function is working. But why we get this function? Because my plan is to use the function again and again, because we don't have one single data, we have a lot of data. And in all the data, if you want to do the same thing again and again, that's what I explained to you, we can use the apply function. Now what I want to do, I want to find the sentiment. This guy also, this also, this also, and all the 1001. So now we can do very, very quickly. How? Because there's a pandas, and pandas we can use apply function. And apply function, we can call a function we already created. Name of function is this one. And here you only give the function name, either created by you or somebody else created for you. Okay. So how it works? This function, so this variable is going to give you an output. This output, first output will apply to this function. So we send this output as an argument to this function. This function will take as a parameter and give the output to you. Then we take second one, send to this function, they will return to you. Third one, they return to you. So 10,000 feedback, 10,000 times with this function we call, and they give you the sentiment of everyone. See here, they're finding the sentiment of everyone, and see, entire sentiment gonna come up. This is negative, means the third statement was negative. This is close to 0, this is close to 1. Okay, this is again close to 1. Most of the time they are talking about these are neutral here. So entire data with help of this Python or the pandas, we have quickly find out the sentiment of everyone. Okay, and this sentiment we will use for further analysis. Again, understand one thing, guys. By looking at this data, if I ask you, tell me, okay, how much customer like our product, how many customer like our product, we have no answer, right? But after we understand the sentiment or the polarity, now we have the polarity of everyone. And this polarity is a number, right? And the good thing about the number is if you have a number, the machine will be happy, right? Machine can understand the numbers only, 0101 numbers only. Now I can use a pure machine learning, sorry, pure programming skills and write here. Okay, how we can write a kind of condition. If any number that is greater than 1, sorry, greater than 0, a positive feedback. Count how many we have. So out of 3,150, maybe we have less than 2,500, maybe positive. Then apply any programming skills, putting a loop, putting a function, putting a conditions, if else, switches, cases, all the stuff is very, very simple. After you have numbers. So after your number, analyzing the number is a core nature of your machines and the programs. But what is not the core nature of a machine and a program is analyze this text. Okay, so converting this text, guys, again, what I'm trying to say here is very, very important, trying to understand. Converting this text into the respective number is one of the main goal of the NLP, natural language processing. So this is a natural language. We process this language and convert into the number, useful number, information based number. And from this number, because we also understand the concept here of this one, this concept. So we know about this numbering system. According to this number and number system, we know anything that is greater than 0 is positive, less than 0 is negative. That's all. Okay. So if somebody asks you, can you tell me the overall rating and the review of the product, how much percentage of a customer like this, we can now find very, very simply and very, very easily, just by typing some small code of conditions, and we can do it very simply. Okay, but one more small thing, polarity and subjectivity are two different things. Not always we want both the things always. So what I'm going to do in this function, I'm doing a small change here, small changes here. So instead we find out everything. Okay, I say in get sentiment of polarity. I'm just only getting the polarity part. Polarity. Okay, and in sentiment, I told you in my last class also, you can, if you want to find out the, where it is, find out the polarity, you can write keyword polarity here. Okay, polarity keyword here. Let me give a better name. It's my polarity. It's just a variable name. Polarity. Let me give here also. So this function is more about the finding the polarity. Okay, and the function name is get polarity function. Now here they only give you the polarities here. Now by this number, guys, is very simple. Now you can write a very simple Python code where we can count all number that is greater than 0 or 0.1, maybe 0.5, maybe. If you want to find how many customer really extremely like our product. Okay, so we can find, because we know extremely like means is close to 1, maybe above 0.75 or 0.6, maybe, or 0.8 maybe. So we can find here how many number is above 0.8. So 1 we have, 2 we have. We can count it by writing some conditions. Okay. Okay. Or maybe this data we have to use again and again a lot in upcoming decisions. So you don't have to run this function again and again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to store this data into a data set. Okay, we're creating by one more field. So I'm going to store this data set into one more same data set in a variable called, it's just a variable name, you can give any name, does not matter. Polarity. That's all. Now your data set contain the polarity also. It means now in the future, if my machine want to, or we want to find out the sentiment polarity, we don't have to read this statement. Now this statement from natural language has been processed to this number. Now we can use this number and doing some programming skills to find out some information, find out some doing some analytics on the top of this, or analysis on the top of this, max, mean, average, and greater than, less than, all the stuff we can do on the top of this data. The biggest thing is converting this data into this number is not a small game, right? Here the role of entire AI come in play. AI is the one who convert this data into this number. Yeah, in the AI, the use case of the AI who have converted this thing into the number is NLP, natural language processing. And that is the reason we use this function. This is the NLP function who have converted, find out the polarity and have done the thing for us. Similarly, sometimes guys, we might also um, um, have to use what I say, the subjectivity also sometime. Okay, it's the same thing we can do with subjectivity also. So I'm going to copy the same function. Okay, and instead of polarity, I'm going to find the subjectivity. Okay, let me change the function name. Just a name subjectivity. Okay, and let me give the name variable, just a variable name, subj, just a variable name, and also change the variable name. Okay, and if you want to find the subjectivity of everyone, so same kind of thing we can use here. This entire data set we have, and I'm going to apply this function. Subjectivity. So this subjectivity of entire data. Okay, a lot of data is close to 0, they are pure fact information, but a lot of data is very close to 1, means they are pure opinion of the customer about the product. Okay, and this data I also want to store in my data set, so I might use in the future whenever we need this, so I have to calculate again. So in a variable called subject t. Okay, that's all. Now we use NLP 2 times. From this data, find out the polarity. This data, find out the subjectivity. Okay, find the subjectivity. Okay, and now we have lots of data we have calculated, guys. These 3 fields we have calculated, right? It was not there. So now in your data set, if you see, we have a lot of column. Some of the column we created, these 3 columns. Okay, now in your data set, if you try to find the info again, okay, these data was, especially this data was purely natural language. Object means string. From the string, we have calculated integer, and the float means numbers. So they will talk about the length of the string, they're talking about the sentiment quality of the string, they talk about the some sentiment, some subjectivity of the string, right? It means maybe we don't need this tree. No, this is a pure natural language. For the computer perspective, this natural language has been converted into the machine understandable language and stored in these three variables, especially these two variables. Okay, and because these are the number, so any mathematical operation, data analysis operation, we can apply on this very easily. You want to draw a graph, visuals, by any tool, lot of tool available in the market to get a graph visuals. But anytime you get a graph and visuals, we need a number. We can't get a graph on the top of the strings or the natural language, right? Now we can get a graph very easily, where we can see on the graph, okay, how much customer like the product, don't like the product, and many more things we can draw. We'll see in the future class when we need the create a graph. Okay, or maybe let's say data set. Okay, I want to describe these three fields now. So these three fields I want to describe. Last time we were not able to describe properly, right? But I can now describe very easily. So let me pick this three field because there's multiple fields. So it's a list of field you write. Three field I'm going to give as a list. So this is field 1, field 2, field 3. So only three field I retrieve. And now I can use my describe command. You know, last time I used the describe command, they say I can't properly describe it. Because at that time your when we're describing something, at that time they say, yeah, I can describe only the number properly and given you the max, mean, average, and all things only on the number part. But what I did now, I converted this review of natural language into number that contain the same information but in the number format the machine understand. Now if I try to take a description of this guys, okay, that makes more sense now. See here. So what we found we have some polarity negative -1. Means somebody has given me negative, very negative review. But we have some one also maximum number. Means somebody has given me positive review also. Okay. Someone has given me 0, means minimum subjectivity, has pure subjective information also, like a pure facts. And somebody giving the pure opinion also. Okay. Plus average is mean is 0.5. It's mostly most of the guys has given me subjectivity medium, means 0.5 is like a kind of very much close to 1, means a lot of guys has given the opinion maybe positive negative does not matter. But here we can see 0.34 means most of the guys has given me as average positive review. Okay, because this average of all the review or all the polarity. Okay, and the 70 percentile says these much percentiles are very close to 0.5 for you decide. Even though lesser percentiles is again still close to 0.1, not a negative. It means most of the guys has given the positive feedback. This line number also means mean this number, right? Okay. So but these description, guys, this is pure statistical information. This is now again the class of statistics, but I'm trying to touch some of the portion of it as quickly as I can do. Okay, but these information, guys, these information, you can't able to drive, not able to find, okay, from the natural language. So what I did, again, very quickly conclusion, we converted this natural language and process it and make it in a way that without losing any information, okay, you convert this data or you encode this data into the number. And why we want to encode this data into a number without losing the information is because I don't want to change the meaning of this line. Love means love only, hate means hate only. I don't want to lose information, otherwise you won't get the right information or right answers. And second thing, why I want to convert this natural language into number, because machine understands the numbers. That's all. And I want machine will do something on the data for us. So they understand numbers. You have to first convert the data into the number, and that is one of the use of the NLP, natural language processing, guys. So that's it, guys. We'll use this example. We'll do some more thing, many more thing on the top of this in my next class. But today, almost entire class would be purely hands-on practical. Okay, this is the data set I will share to you. Try to do this thing. A lot of basic concepts I explained to you. Python and pandas first, because it's a very common thing we have to use again and again. Then we'll use some NLP part, and I'll just explain you again the use of the NLP. Okay, and many more uses you will see as we go ahead in this training. It's just a second day. Right now we are again learning the NLP basics. Okay, as we go ahead, we'll go more and more deep into this topic, and almost every use case we're going to touch in this training. So that's it, guys, from my side for today. Remaining portion of this topic we will continue in the tomorrow class, right? So any query, guys, if you have till now, you guys can ask. Happy Teachers Day. Thank you very much, and a lot of blessings, guys, from my side to everyone. Okay, so so oh, Arpit, you're right, very fantastic poetry here. Thel Vimal sir, Bati, Prithivam, Diya student. Thank you very much, Arpit, for your beautiful uh, kavita and poem. Vibhav, don't worry. You can put your request to our team. They will provide you. If you missed the class yesterday one, they will provide the recording. Mostly, will try to convince everyone over here rather than depend on the recording and be in this training live with me, so that you can also ask your query. Plus, you also commit your time for learning right with me here. But don't worry if you miss something, Weber. Yesterday class will help you to give the recording. Just current, they both are the subjectivity also information, right? The facts. Sunrise from east and sunrise from west. So you're talking about any um, what I say, the opinion here. You're just giving the fact information. The fact may be wrong. Okay. But if you say we think sun should rise from the west, then you might see subjectivity gonna come up with some number. Okay, so we know it's a wrong information, but it is like a fact. Yes, Nikhil, we are going to create a chatbot also from the NLP in the upcoming class. Yes, Priyans, you can use Splunk also. Splunk has a lot of keyword available. Okay, for analyzing your text as NLP. Okay, difference is Splunk is a different tool. There are a lot of tools available, not Splunk. There's the BI tool also available. They has inbuilt capability. Okay, so difference is Splunk is a different product. You have to take the license. Okay, but just to analyze, why you need to take a Splunk, right? We need to use a Python, right? And Python, from the Python we can create our app. From the Splunk, obviously we can't create our app. It's a different product altogether. Tasks are Avinash will definitely give the tasks. Right now we just started this study. As we go ahead, so we'll give him a lot of tasks. We want to see you. Same Shams. So miss you, everyone. Soon we'll plan something to meet again. How to conquer now overall. Manali, this is again very basic thing. You can conclude, but just write a simple Python code, okay, and write a conditions here, okay, and condition would be something like this: all the polarity, count it, that is maximum, that is if is greater than zero, count it, and the count number come up, divide with the total. There's a percentage of customer like this product. So pure simple Python code. Again, there's no Python training. I don't want to go ahead with this. Okay. But you can create a Python code. If you don't know Python, I just share you my Python recorded classes. You guys can learn and create the conditions, and then that's all. Pretty simple, right? Thank you for being so awesome. You are the fantastic teacher and mentor. Forever grateful to you. Thank you, Samak, very much. Ravikant, I just find the length. Right now, there's no use of the length. I just wanted to just explain you the concept of apply function. So there's no use of the length right now. Just I want to show you very simply the meaning of the apply function. That's what I calculate. Otherwise, there's no such great meaning in this example right now. We're lucky to have you, sir. Thank you very much, Litis. Vinay, I unable to see your question. If you again retype your question. So can you give some set of questions to practice? Priya, whatever I'm doing right now, at least I suggest practice this part first. Okay, but as I'll go ahead. Going to give you multiple tasks so that we are what you have to perform. But right now, I suggest this code, this task, not this task, but at least this code practice first, and then after you practice this code, then try to do some small variation in this code. Maybe put some your data also, test multiple different things. Okay, but as we go ahead, because this is just a second class, I will give you a lot of homework and the tasks to perform. We really want to celebrate Teachers Day with you. Thank you, everyone. I also want this, but we'll meet you soon. Yes, Ketan, we can also create our own model. So in my upcoming classes, especially the advanced part, when we create our own model from the scratch, okay, there I'll tell you the way how to create your own models for this. Okay. As you said earlier, check my Python code recording session. Yes, Amit, I told that uh, um, Vinay, is this frequency is all about the human understandable, right? How which frequency you understood. We can able to sense. So every living being and every different devices has a different sense in the sense organ where we can sync the frequency with, right? So there's a range of frequency where human beings sense can sync, and the respective device can sync, can understand. I can say sense it. There's a range it's come from. So yeah, so Amit, you can get the recording from here. So in the YouTube, we have a channel called IIEC Connect. Is a channel name in the YouTube where we have a lot of different training available free. So you can search for Python. There's a training you guys can get from here. Okay. So this is the you can find this way. ISA Python, where I explain almost everything from very basic to a lot of things about Python. So I suggest, because in the machine learning or the NLP, you should be kind of basic knowledge of the Python you should know. So from this classes, you can get the things right. So that's all, guys. See you in the next class. Almost all the query I touched here, what you asked me. A remaining query, if you have, is not yet been touched, maybe come in the future classes, or in our Discord channel, you guys can put your query over there. A lot of technical teams we have over there and volunteers, they will help you guys. Okay, so that's all from my side, guys. See you in the next class. All the diagram, screenshot, code will be given to you in our Google Drive. Google Drive link we have shared with you, or we're gonna share with you soon. Okay, so that's all. Bye. Good day, guys. Take care. Good night.